you might be saying, I really don't give a thickest cuss about whether, one of the greatest pitchers of all time is going to go to jail. Well, your tax dollars paid for this trial and whether Roger Clemens lied about using performance-enhancing drugs. It would not be the first time the feds have gotten involved in something that would seem to be a little bit of a side issue here. Many have said the same about their fixation with the Florida voting laws, Arizona's crackdown on illegal immigration, that this gets to be a bit much. Dan Mitchell from the Cato Institute says this is par for the course, whether you're interested in this sort of stuff or not, that those in power tend to focus on this kind of stuff when, from stepping back, man, it just looks like certainly there are other bigger fish to fry. What say you?
I think this is an example of the federal government, for that matter, all governments, going way beyond what their legitimate roles are. For much of our nation's history, total government spending, federal, state, and local, was about 10% of GDP. Now we have total government spending about 40% of GDP, with the federal government at 25% of GDP. Now, yes, this Roger Clemens trial, or for that matter, the John Edwards trial, those aren't even a drop in the bucket. But you start taking all those drops, they add up to billions and billions of dollars. We need to get back to the old-fashioned idea that the federal government exists to fulfill its responsibilities in Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. And nowhere in there is there anything about steroids. Nowhere in there is there anything about a Department of Agriculture, Department of Housing and Urban Development. I mean, this is just an example of why Washington is the problem, not the solution.
There might be some who might take exception to this and make an exception in the Clemens case, that this is the American pastime. There's a great deal of sort of kid fondness for the game, and that those who triumph at it are doing so honestly, ethically, without any sort of performance-enhancing drugs. I'm taking a leap here, but that this could be one of the times the government should be involved to police the integrity of the sport. Again, allowing for that interpretation. What do you think of that?
There are two issues. The steroid use, or alleged steroid use, I don't even know what the right term is, but that's an issue for Major League Baseball. And if Major League Baseball wants to sanction him, if baseball writers want to keep him out of the Hall of Fame, by all means, do those things. They have nothing to do with the government. The only part where the government's involved is if he did use steroids, I guess that means he lied under oath. And you're not supposed to do that. Of course, politicians lie to us all the time, so why can't we turn around and lie to them? But all kidding aside, why on earth did they have that hearing in the first place? Because a bunch of politicians on that committee saw a chance to get cameras in their hearing room.
That's a very good point. So it became a self-inflicted kangaroo court. He goes in there, denies the court findings or views, and sets himself up for what we're seeing now.
Yes, and never should that committee have been involved in this issue at all. It's sort of like a committee in Congress saying, Neil, you didn't mow your lawn properly last weekend. Well, your reaction should be, what business is that of yours? And that's what Roger Clemens should have done. He should have said, go take a flying leap. I'm trying to make sure I don't use any bad words. But he should have told those politicians, this is none of your business. Major League Baseball should have said, this isn't something for the federal government to get involved with. But as long as everyone in our society keeps moving down this path where everything has to be decided by government, well, sooner or later, as we've talked about many times, Neil, we become Greece.
We do become Greece. Dan Mitchell, thank you very much. And that is what we're waiting to find out. And Dan, thank you for being so quick on your feet to change gears from what we originally planned. But that's what makes Dan great.